Phuong and Nguyen call me May. And before we started, I have a little activity for you guys to join in. Let's get which of the pictures show patriotism. Please raise your left hand if you think it's picture number 1, and raise your right hand if you think it's picture number 2. Wow, I saw a lot of different thoughts here. Thank you. So let's find out the answer together by first defining what is patriotism. Patriotism is not just a feeling, it's a way of thinking, a way of living. It's a connection between people and the land they call home. If you look in the dictionary, you will see that patriotism is simply defined as love for one country. But historians argue that it is more than that. It's about our responsibility, our duty to stand up and protect our homeland. Vietnamese history is a powerful statement to the truth. A sacred land where every inch of soil carries on the mark of our hero sacrifices. Growing up, we all know the story of Trương Chắc Trương Nhị. A century later, when Bà Triệu declared, "I want to ride the wind and walk the way, slay the shark in the eastern sea. I want to drive out the enemy, reclaim our land, and break free from slavery. I will never bow down and become a concubine to anyone." We also learn about the Battle on Bạch Đằng River, or the famous Ho Chí Minh campaign. This is a Vietnamese spirit. We never give up, no matter how strong the enemy is. And during wartime, patriotism was so strongly and notably. How can we forget about Nguyen, a prominent monk who set himself on fire in the middle of Saigon to protest the unfair treatment under the Diem government? Or look at Phan Đình Giót and Tô Vĩnh Diện, who were best known for their courageous action during the First Indochina Wars against the French colonial forces. They sacrificed their life, their body, to make the way for the attack. Or as of proof of patriotism among young people, perhaps Võ Thị Sáu is the best example. She was only 15 years old when she was arrested for taking part in revolutionary activities. And even though being imprisoned and tortured, she never gave up on what she believed. So, if patriotism in wartime meant uniting against the powerful enemy, then what does it look like in this time of peace, when people no longer have to fight in war? As technology and global media continue to expand, young generations are connected to different cultures more than ever. Every day, we would go on social platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, and our job is to keep scrolling, while their job is to keep spreading the global trend. And sometimes it's moving too fast that the traditional value have to take a backseat. And this has sparked a debate. Perhaps a lot of you guys still remember this viral video from the back of the day. Let's watch it together.
Cho mình hỏi một chút là các bạn có biết là ở gần đây có một cái di tích lịch sử nào gắn liền với vị vua Quang Trung không?
Em không ạ.
Bạn có biết là ông vua Quang Trung và ông Nguyễn Huệ có cái mối quan hệ gì với nhau, hai người đấy?
Em không ạ. Anh em ạ.
Ông Quang Trung và ông Nguyễn Huệ có mối quan hệ như thế nào?
Bố con. Dạ em cùng nhà. Dạ đấy là cùng một ông ạ.
Thế à? Thế tại sao?
Dạ đấy là tên được người dân đặt cho. Quang Trung thì em nhìn nữa đấy.
Còn ông Nguyễn Huệ ấy?
Cái này thì em không thấy.
Thế thì theo em là hai ông ấy có cái mối quan hệ gì với nhau?
Bạn thân chiến đấu cùng nhau. Ông Quang Trung được làm vua và đánh thắng giặc. Ông còn là nhà thơ nữa. Trường con chính là trường Phuoc Cánh Trùng.
Thế con học trường gì?
Con học trường Nguyễn Du. Và Nguyễn Du chính là ông Quang Trung.
And since then, the negative impression of this generation being ignorant or turning their back on history continues to go on, and it still appears in the headline until today. So whenever discussing about patriotism among young people, the previous generation tend to be a bit skeptical. And let's be honest, is this also your reaction after watching that video? Because that's mine. And did that make you wonder, does patriotism still exist among young people? As a Gen Z, a part of this very stereotype, I stand here today to say this loudly and clearly. Yes, we do. Despite the criticism, this generation still have our love for Vietnam. If previous generations saw that love through struggle and sacrifices, then our generation just simply have our new love language. And perhaps the most vivid impression is through music, where we blend the traditional melody with modern style to honor the Vietnamese culture. We can clearly see this through some recent hit music projects like Bắc Bling, or we can look at Season by Hoàng Thị Linh and Trống Cơm performed by Nhà Sao Sáng. These are remarkable songs, explore the traditional theme. And not only they avoiding being flop, they also achieve outstanding numbers, showing that this generation still has love for the traditional thing. We continue to check on the pride of the nation, despite the impact of different cultures. Or you guys can consider how young generation and the previous generation come together for Đi Bảo. This is what we call Đi Bảo, and I believe that many of us here have at least one join this thrilling street celebration where we go on the street, wave the national flag, and cheer with excitement. This is a powerful way of Vietnamese to celebrate our national pride. And in this moment, differences fade away. The whole country unites in the same sense of joy and victory. Personally, I love the picture where it says, "Let's be Vietnamese again," in our next slide. It perfectly captures the deep love, the pride for Vietnam of this generation, showing that we love, are loving, and will continue to love this country forever. Patriotism also takes shape in a wonderful and creative way. Here at Greenwich, Vietnam, students bring the traditional material into their academic project and dissertation, whether it's incorporating the Đông Hồ Phuoc painting onto denim fabric or highlighting the beauty of traditional craft village and endless other projects. This shows that we believe the tradition is not something from the past, it's that it is alive, evolving, and worth celebrating in every single way. And with everything I have shared with you guys today, I can confidently say that the love among this generation still hasn't faded away. We might not have to pick up the weapon like the previous generation did, but we cherish this country with the same deep connection, the same passion to our roots. And that is the beauty of patriotism. Patriotism is not only about the big action, it's also try and small thing we do every single day. For me, patriotism is hanging this beautiful war map on the little corner of my room to simply remind me of where I come from and to honor the beauty of our 54 ethnic groups come together. And you guys can do it too. You guys can also express your love for Vietnam through small action like taking volunteering activities or to help people that in need, or you guys can contribute in promoting the Vietnamese culture to our international friends, or something that we do every single day and happen in our daily life that we can supporting the domestic product, reinforcing the slogan, Người Việt Nam ưu tiên dùng hàng Việt Nam, Vietnamese people prioritizing using Vietnamese product. And that is the beauty of patriotism. And if anyone still wonders what does it look like among this generation, perhaps the action in the next video will speak louder than my words. Let's see it. Anh ơi.
Giá trị của truyền thống là giá trị của sự kết nối. Đừng nói là giới trẻ ngày hôm nay không yêu truyền thống, không yêu dân tộc. Họ yêu nhiều lắm, họ cũng yêu mãnh liệt lắm. Bom đất nước hình như bom giá.
No matter how times change, the love for our country remains. And as I stand here today, I cannot list every single thing young people do to show their love for Vietnam. But I know that it is true, strong, and unwavering. Together, we can contribute to the growth of this beloved nation. My name is Nguyen Phuong, and I am proud to say I am Vietnamese. Tôi là người Việt Nam.